and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Sean.
This is a pre-Aquaman show.
Oh, right, it is, because Aquaman comes out...
next week.
Yeah, it comes out... Actually,
Thursday.
I think it technically comes out the day that the show releases.
Yeah, so it comes out today.
Yes.
So we are living in a pre-Aquaman world, so we have no opinion on it at the moment.
I don't know, the more I keep seeing the trailers...
The trailers look cool. I'm actually very happy because one of my biggest complaints with the DC cinematic universe is that it's been so dark. Again, not thematically, literally visually. They just make it so hard to see what the fuck's going on in the movies. I've noticed on these Aquaman trailers, that doesn't seem to be a problem.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to that. I hope this will be something where I'm able to see the action and, like, you know, we can see the sets and the effects and all that sort of stuff. So, and not only that, but they changed the Aquaman logo from that, like, grimdark Justice League logo to like a shiny light pearl, almost like a pearly blue.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. I'm excited about that.
And I think Jason Momoa looks really good in that the traditional Aquaman outfit
At the end of the trailer.
I'm kind of like, why not? Why is he just not wearing that originally? You know,
Like all the time.
like all the time. Like if he's fucking Aquaman.
Give me Aquaman.
You know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is like the movie where like he really becomes like Aquaman.
Yeah.
As opposed to just being like...
I think that's the whole thing. He's just like, you know, Arthur Curry, and then he's Aquaman. So I'm excited for it. I'm sure we'll see it before our next show.
No, I think we're going to see it. Really want to see you Into the Spider-Verse, too.
Oh, I've heard that's very good.
Everybody. I don't think I've seen a single bad review for it.
Yeah.
But to the point, I mean, like, everybody is just freaking out about it, and I'm kind of like, okay, well, admittedly, I am not the biggest Spider-Man fan.
Sure, me either.
But, and I haven't really followed up with Spider-Man, the more recent things. You know, the recent stuff that he's done, you know, in terms of comics, and like, so I'm not familiar with a lot of the, you know, the Miles Morales and the Gwenpool and the Gwen Stacy, the Gwen, Spider Girl, or all these things. Like, there's a lot of Spider-Man. Like, my biggest Spider-Man interest was like 93, 94. You know, right around the time with Spider-Man 400, you know, Spider-Clone Saga. Not necessarily people's favorite stuff, but you know, I was very, I don't know, I haven't really paid much attention, so I'll be interested to see this, and I think it's just, I mean, just in terms of it being like a movie without, you know, going into it without having much of an understanding of all the stuff that all the characters are involved. I'm looking forward to just having an open mind to it. So I also want to see Bumblebee.
I've heard that's supposed to be good too.
Is it Transformers Bumblebee or just Bumblebee? I think it's Transformers Origins Bumblebee or some
maybe some bullshit. Whatever, it's Bumblebee.
But it's been getting a lot of good reviews lately.
Yeah.
For the critics, I think it's out or it's coming out this coming week or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's out soon, but it's supposed to be really good, and I'm looking forward to it. Michael Bay didn't direct this one, right?
No, I don't think he did this one.
I don't think he's involved with this one at all, which that might explain some stuff, because the last Transformers movies, plural, were garbage.
Yeah, those are rough to watch.
Which really sucks, because I loved Transformers when I was a kid.
Yeah, but apparently they got this one right. So
yeah, that's cool.
We're gonna be have to check that out. So there's quite a few movies I think we need to dig into. I mean, between we got Aquaman, we got Spider-Verse, we got Bumblebee, and Venom is actually out on.
Oh, is it out?
Digital, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to see that.
I think the DVD's probably coming out like next week or something. Definitely, I think before Christmas. I think it might be available for streaming at this point.
Nice.
So, and I that's one that I kind of just was like, I'll wait to see it. I didn't need.
Yeah, I don't need to see the theater.
See it right immediately, but
yeah,
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to check it out. But yeah, no, there's a lot of cool stuff. We did go to a basketball game this weekend.
We did. Yeah, we went. I was lucky enough to win some Nuggets tickets at work from a raffle. And we went, and we had really good seats. The problem, you know, we were on, like, not the floor, but, like, the section right above it.
We're in section 100.
Yeah, section 100.
We're, like you know, that kind of area.
Yeah, nice, close to the court, so we had a really great view. The problem is usually we sit up so high, because we sit in the nosebleeds all the time. And up there, the seats in front of you are low.
Yeah.
Not so much at this other place. And Sean and I are tall people, so my knees were just jammed
I can't sit in any seat.
against this chair in front of me, and I was like, this is an issue.
No, it sucks because it's like
it was more of an issue. You're taller than me, and we were both like, I'm not that tall. I'm only 5'9", which for a woman is tall, but I'm not like 6'2" or something. I don't even know how people who are 6'2" sit in these seats.
I don't know. I feel like those people don't go to the games.
They sit in the nosebleeds.
Or they just get they get the best seats because they're tall.
Because they have to, right?
They have to. They're like, well, I'm not going to sit in this giant seat because I'm going to be just
basically a fucking pretzel.
Yeah, just be tied up in that seat. But nonetheless,
and like the dude in front of me kept like, because he was trying to be cool and like lean his arm, like put his arm back.
He couldn't wait to be on the jumbotron.
Yeah, like put his arm back across like the seats, and he kept just elbowing me in the knee. And I was like, dude, I realize you're short, but I am not. So this is an issue for everybody.
Man, the jumbotron's gonna see me put my arm around my buddies, man. Yeah.
It probably hurt him more than it hurt me, to be quite honest with you.
I got friends.
But no, I mean the game itself was great.
Yeah, I still don't know if they won though because we didn't stay for the whole
I don't know.
show.
Yeah, well, we couldn't. We had like a thing to get ready for the next day because we had some people over, and I basically was in the kitchen for 12 entire hours straight, prepping.
That's not a lie.
That's not a lie. I was there for 12 hours. And so we left the game early so I could get work done.
Yeah.
Before the day. But
it's a free game.
Yeah, it was a free game. But what we saw was great.
Well,
it was fun.
Yeah, I mean the game
because Aquaman was on that team.
Fucking Aquaman. Let me tell.
So it was the Nuggets versus the Thunder.
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
There's a dude named
his last name was Adams. I don't know his first name, but and
he's apparently 7 feet tall.
You can't teach that.
And you can't teach that.
But he was the best player I think I've ever seen play basketball.
Yeah, like
he was so good.
Sean was like, Aquaman's making all the shots.
He was. Anytime he touched the ball, he would score.
Yeah.
And he looks like fucking Aquaman, and I'm like, oh my god.
From a distance, he looks like Aquaman. I'm sure he doesn't look like Aquaman close up.
I don't know.
Jason Momoa.
I don't know.
From a distance, he looks like Jason Momoa.
Yeah, I know, but he was really good.
Yeah,
I was like Aquaman,
and Sean was like, "If that guy was on the Nuggets, I'd get that guy's shirt."
I'd get that. I'd buy a jersey right away. I would have bought a jersey on the way out. I would have been like, "Fucking Aquaman." I mean, well, granted, I probably would have saw him. Well, I don't know if I would have been able to see him that far from where we were sitting before, but if he was on the team, I don't know. Nonetheless, though, he was a very good player.
Yeah,
but he didn't play for the Nuggets. He played for the Thunder.
Yeah.
And maybe the Thunder's a good team too.
Sure. Maybe he'll get traded and he'll come to the Nuggets, and then you can get a jersey.
Yeah, maybe. If I'd only be so lucky. But the Nuggets have some Nuggets got some good players though. Too. Yeah. I guess. I mean, we have the Serbian guy, Jokic.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah, we got him, and then we got a bunch of other dudes that are really good.
It was really crazy. We're sitting there watching this game, and I forget Monty
Brown?
Morris?
Monty Burns?
Something. I can't remember his last name. It might be Morris. He was out there, and he was hustling, and I was like, man, look at this little guy go.
Yeah.
Dude's 6'3". Dude is not little. It was just he was on the court with these fucking giant men.
He was on the court with giant Aquaman.
He looked tiny, and because I was like, man, that guy's hustling. How tall is that guy? I look it up. He's 6'3". I was like, that guy's not short at all. But because he was out there with dudes who were like 6'8", he looked little. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it was quite the game. I was very impressed. Just something about also being that close to a basketball game, like on the action to a basketball game, like right there. And I've done that before. I mean, obviously, I've been to high school basketball games.
Sure.
It was just like, wow, like these guys are playing the fuck out of this, and it's just great action, And I'm kind of like, man, next I can't go to a basketball game and go back up higher, back up to the top.
Oh, I can. I can't wait for my knees not to be against somebody else's face.
I know. But I do plan to go back to it. I definitely want to go to more games because I like it's fun.
It is fun. It was really good.
It's a fun experience to go to a Nuggets game. It's good times. It's nice to have a basketball team that I can afford to go to.
Yeah. Oh, we could never go in LA. You kidding?
I mean, you could, but I mean, at the same time, it's just. I mean, but the thing is, it's such a pain. It was such a pain in the ass to go anywhere in LA. Let alone to the Staples Center.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, until you kind of figure out, like, if you live close enough to one of the trains, you just go to the train station and you take the train in because fuck doing anything else.
Right.
And then there was this the mascot doing his thing.
Oh, that was crazy. That
I posted a picture on my Instagram, but
I thought he was going to die. I really thought we were going to watch a death.
Because so he had a gigantic WWE murder ladder.
Yeah, well, he had like a huge ladder, and you're like, oh, cool. Wait, why are there 3 ladder stair things?
Well, no. So what it is like it folds out like a regular ladder.
That's what I mean. It folds out like a regular ladder, and then the one in the center,
which I thought was a support for the ladder. I did too.
No, it just goes up. So it's coming out of the top of the ladder, which is already a good 20 feet fucking tall. And it adds another 10.
And he climbed that
with nothing to catch him. There was no mats.
Nope.
Nothing. There were no spotters. There were just dudes holding a ladder.
There was just hardwood floor.
A hardwood floor and 5 dudes holding a ladder and one guy throwing basketball because it was at center court and he was trying to make a basket.
Which he did.
And he did. But I was like, he's going to die. He is going to fall off. And we are going to watch this probably 20-year-old kid inside the Rocky costume die a horrible death.
And to get off the ladder, he did the thing where
he's going to Owen Hart himself.
Oh,
he is.
Yeah, no, it was
really upsetting.
It was going to be blood on the there was going to be blood on the court, likes of which you've seen since Rudy Tomjalovich.
I don't get that reference.
Rudy Tomjalovich. I'm saying his wrong name.
Did he fall off a ladder?
No.
Oh. Just checking.
There's a video from the 70s of a fight going on the court. I forgot what teams are playing, but there's a bunch of teams are fighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that Arch-Rivals basketball video game, and they're fighting, and Rudy Tomjalovich is a player on one of these other teams. He comes running into where the action is, and there's a guy that's just everybody's fighting, and the guy just turns around and just punches him.
Oh, God.
And breaks his entire face. I had to show. I have to look at the video because Rudy Tomjalovich. I keep saying. I know I'm saying his name wrong, but it's I'm close. Rudy went on to coach the Houston Rockets in the 90s and was actually very successful. But that was before that was his claim to fame as being
the guy who got his face broken,
being massacred on the floor by another player. During a fight. And it was one of those things where I remember watching it, and it was one of those things where it's this grainy 70s footage. So it looks even more terrifying.
Yeah.
It's not like NBA on TNT or whatever, fucking Zapruder film looking shit. And I'm just like, oh, God. I remember seeing it on Sports Center. Because after he got hired, it's Rudy Tomjalovich got hired by the Rockets. Here he is getting punched. Because it was one of those.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. So I'll have to look it up. But anyways, this guy, so this mascot.
This is how I'm such a mom when it comes to this sort of stuff. We don't have any kids, but I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna die, and there's nobody there.
I'm like that watching wrestling though too. When wrestlers start doing stupid
upsetting.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm such a mom. I'm like, be careful.
When I start watching wrestlers, especially if I'm at a live show,
Oh yeah.
If I'm watching people and I'm just we'll just be sitting there, just be like, fuck, no, don't do it, don't do it, they'll do it, and then they do it.
Yeah.
And then they're whatever. Which I'm like, oh, God, I wish I had the courage to do half of that shit.
No, I don't want the courage to do any of that shit. I don't want to die.
I don't know how you'd be able to handle going to one of those death matches.
Yeah, no, I mean,
you would have been very uncomfortable watching David Arquette getting hit in the head with things.
Don't like that.
You would have been you probably would have been freaking the fuck out.
That's the thing. I'm like, man,
because you're seeing it right in front of you. It's not like you've been watching a video. I got to see it the Nick Gage take a giant column of light tubes and just go up to take it up to David Arquette's head and go.
No, that's upsetting.
Mm-hmm.
That's upsetting. This is death, whatever. Let the meteor come for me, but that's fine. I just don't want to die doing something stupid.
Yeah, something that you didn't have to do.
Exactly. Standing on top of a 30-foot ladder in front of fucking 15,000 people and falling to my death while wearing a costume. That's something I don't want. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, there's just so many better ways to die than that. That's horrible.
That was probably
But before we went to see the game, we went out to dinner.
Uh-huh.
And then we went to this, we're killing time, so we went to this bar. We're sitting at the bar.
Oh, you're talking about my...
Yeah. Basically, if we didn't have anywhere to go, we would have spent the entire night at this bar so Sean could watch a documentary about some Bills player.
It was Thurman Thomas, a football life on the NFL Network, and Thurman Thomas used to be the running back for the Buffalo Bills back in the back of their 90s heyday, late 80s, 90s heyday, and I was obsessed with watching this because I was just like, it's like, oh, look at that guy! It's all those
Sean's
players.
favorite thing, remembering guys.
It's all those players. It's Bruce Smith and fucking.
Oh, he was so excited. I literally,
Jim
if we didn't have anything else to do, we would have sat there all day long. Where Sean literally just yelled, "Hey, it's so and so" at the TV,
and I couldn't even hear it.
You didn't need
but
to.
They had I think they had some captions. I didn't need to. I already knew what was going on.
Yeah,
they're talking about his college days and stuff, and
so Sean got to remember some guys. His favorite thing to do.
What was it when they're showing him waiting to get drafted and he was sleeping?
No, he was just weirdly splayed on that chair, but he looked like he was sleeping.
Oh, I thought he was sleeping.
Oh, it was weird.
I thought he was sleeping, waiting for Marv to call him and be like, "Go Bills," Marv Levy, which as of this recording, when we're recording this, still alive. I think I could easily look that up, but I'm certain everybody is probably like, "No, he's good." Former Bills coach Marv Levy, go Bills. But so that was a lot of fun though. That was a fun little excursion. And real quick, I just want to point out I got the pleasure of recording a podcast with my new buddy out here in Denver, John Ekstrom. Mm-hmm. He has a podcast called John of All Trades, and you can look that up on Apple Podcasts. I feel terrible because I think his website is johnofalltrades.net, and he spells John Jon. But John of All Trades is a podcast. You can look it up. Just put it in your Google machine or throw it up in your iTunes search or Apple search, and you'll find it. And I am a guest on that podcast talking with John about pro wrestling, of course, because him and I are huge wrestling marks. Mm-hmm. He is like a brother from another mother, kind of. If I'm using a phrase of sorts like that, he is definitely kin to me because he's like maybe a year or two older or younger than me. But he remembers, a lot of the same shit that I do. And I remember going to tape at his house, and he's like, "Hey man, I'll show you some wrestling action figures," and then we got to remember some guys.
Yeah,
which is like, why? This is the best. This is the best day.
Yeah,
I'm having a great time.
Yeah,
remembering a body. He literally is like, "Here's a bag of guys," and I'm like, "Oh, I remember this. Who is this? I don't know. Is this John Cena? Maybe." Because I had a question. There was a John Cena figure that had pants on. But it was the one where he was like, when he was like the doctor of thugonomics, and he had the pants, and he had like a chain, and he came with, he was not John Cena as we know him, but it was John Cena, So I was very I was like, oh, it's John Cena, and he had Hasbro figures and he had tapes, and I was like, oh, remembering some tapes, So. Uh-huh. So but definitely check out that show. It was a lot of fun. John does a great job on his podcast, and I would highly recommend that. So, are you looking something up right now?
No.
Oh, I thought you were about to bring something, bring up some sort of fact.
No facts. I have no facts. Why are you asking me for facts?
I don't know.
How long have we been doing this podcast?
You have 0 facts.
How many facts have I ever brought to this podcast? I would say 0.
We have 0 facts in general.
I just make shit up.
Oh, yeah, we kayfabe.
Yeah, most of the time. And, it's easy to kayfabe when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you don't realize you're lying.
Especially when you don't know what kayfabe means.
That's also true.
Jen gave you shit the other day.
I know what kayfabe means. Yes, of course I gave you shit the other day because it's ridiculous.
Because I'm using a lot of wrestling terminology.
Okay. We had, when we first got our new cat, Hartley, named for wrestler. We went to take him to the emergency vet because he had an upper respiratory infection. And it's like 9:00 at night, and it's really busy. And I forget what happened. Something happened where Sean was kind of being a dick to the vet.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't be a dick to the vet. And so then he went to apologize that he was being a dick to the vet. And what did he say? He goes, "I'm really sorry. I was cutting a promo on that other vet." And we walked out of the thing, and I said, "You do realize nobody knew what the fuck you were talking about, right?" He goes, "No, everybody knew." I said, "Nobody knew. Literally, no. Nobody else lives pro wrestling the way you do. Cutting a promo doesn't make any fucking sense to anybody else."
Right.
But he apologized to a vet who was not the vet he was a dick to. for cutting a promo.
I said I was cutting a promo on the other vet. Yeah.
But that doesn't make sense.
Because here's okay. You know what the problem is?
Now he says gimmick. Everything is gimmick.
You know what the problem is?
He's cutting promos.
You know what the problem is? Well, I was about to say, like,
He's
today.
getting heat. He's putting things over.
Oh, I put things over all the time. But there was a guy. Well, even today we were waiting in line at Target, and this woman was taking too long to like cash out because she kept on because the cashier kept on being like, "Oh, these are good nachos" or whatever.
Yeah, the cashier was really having a nice conversation with that lady.
And I was about to turn to you and be like, "Yeah, that cashier's cutting a promo on that woman."
But she wasn't cutting a promo.
Well, anytime somebody's talking for a long amount of time,
that's not what a promo is.
I know it.
If you're gonna use pro wrestling terms, I insist you use them correctly. Just randomly talking to another person about nachos being good is not cutting a promo.
Okay, but well, no, you know what the problem is ever since it's not ever since. First of all, since working on Steve Austin's podcast, and he's all it's all the wrestling terminology. So now it's kind of like, and Steve knows that I know what that stuff means. He'll use that stuff, not like overtly, but like occasionally he'll slip in there, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, well, I don't get what you mean."
Yes, but I don't believe Steve would approve of your use of incorrect definitions.
I might ask him and see if I'm using it right.
You're not using it right.
But the other thing is that
I can tell you that. You don't need to ask Steve Austin.
But the other thing is that years ago there was a story in the Observer where there was this wrestler called Orlando Jordan, and he's a bisexual, and he had a younger
like a boyfriend. He was
a part of whatever Orlando's act was in TNA. It was a TNA, and he was a part of this entourage he had or whatever. And I guess at one point there was a thing going on where after hours when they were at a party or they're at a club or whatever, and I guess this boyfriend of Orlando Jordan's was coming on to guys and just being being very forward to the point where it was being really like distracting and very uncivil. But he was doing it in public, and he was obviously he's a part of this company. I guess Ric Flair was there, and Dave Meltzer was reporting about this incident. He's like, and then he goes, and then Flair cut a promo on this guy.
Yeah, he probably yelled at him because that's what cutting a promo is. He didn't go over and go, "Hey man, let's talk about nachos," so you don't aggressively hit on these people.
But even kind of, but I cut a promo on that woman. I did cut a promo on that woman.
Yes, that is the correct usage. A cashier talking to somebody, having a pleasant conversation is not cutting a promo.
I don't know. I just like using it.
I know, but you're not using it right.
I know. Whatever. I'm living my life. So we also we did actually take a little stop at Second and Charles today.
Yeah.
My favorite store.
Yep.
I think Jen's favorite store too.
Yeah, I like it.
That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Bought myself another 6-button Genesis turbo controller because I don't know if I liked the one I bought before.
Yes.
And I did buy for Christmas because you asked me to.
I told you. I literally walked up to you in the store and I said, "Buy this for me for Christmas."
And I did, and it's the 75 Years of Lois Lane, which I didn't realize they had like full stories in there. And some of those things.
Of them, yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, this is great," because I would probably have thought to got it for you before.
Here's the thing. This is what happened. So I saw this because I have the 75 Years of Catwoman book, and I saw the Lois Lane one. I was like, "Oh wow, it's whatever. It's on sale," and I flipping through it to be like, is this worth buying? And I see they reprinted the one where Lois Lane turns black.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy fuck, they reprinted this.
Yeah.
So I closed it and I walked up to Sean and I said, "Buy this for me." And he goes, "I didn't think you'd want this." And I go, "Have you looked at page 116? And he opens it and he goes, "Oh." And he goes, "Okay, I'll buy this for you."
Yeah, I do. I already know. Like,
that's all I had to say.
I already know she's gonna be into it. So that's
please buy this piece of garbage for me.
Yeah.
And then I was really excited because I got an archived edition of The Brave and the Bold, archive number 1, for $5.
Yeah, I know.
These books are usually $50 a pop. I got it for $5. It's hardcover, and it's got John on the cover looking at Green Arrow, kind of like their boyfriends.
Oh yeah, Ric Flair better not be nearby. He might cut a promo.
Well, as long as he's not aggressively hitting on random people at a bar, I think everything's fine.
Okay, good.
That's probably why Flair was cutting a promo on that guy, because he was making everybody uncomfortable by being a super aggressive dick. So I am excited to read this.
That's a great deal.
It's a really great deal. Of course, we have things written by my best friend, Bob Haney.
Ooh, Bob Haney. It's Haney.
Yeah.
All right.
And it covers...
We got some Metalmen in there, too, don't we?
Yeah, it starts with an issue in 1963, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, and the thing about this one, I think, is that it's before it became more of a Batman book.
Yeah, this is just a team-up book.
Yeah, but now it's kind of much, it's kind of a varied thing, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
You can't pass up that kind of deal, too.
No, and I'm wondering if there's going to be some stuff that'll pop up on the show.
Oh, there will.
I'm sure there is. So I'm really excited about that. I thought that was a really good deal.
I wouldn't mind doing a Brave and the Bold that doesn't feature Batman.
Yeah, no, none of these do. I've seen Flash and the Atom in here.
Yeah.
Kid Flash, Aqualad, and Robin.
Ooh. Oh, is it the first appearance of the Titans? Is that one collected in there? Because that was a Brave and the Bold.
I don't know if this is the first appearance of the Titans. It's this one?
No, it's not it.
Yeah. And it's got, I don't know who the fuck that guy's supposed to be. Patriot Man?
Patriot Man?
I have no fucking clue. Looks like...
Ooh, Tom Brady. Fuck Tom Brady.
Yeah. They lost. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, I mean, look at this. The town that would not die. There's Aqualad riding a whale. Yeah. This is totally up my alley. I'm so excited.
Ride this whale into this town and see what happens.
I'm so excited.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait.
So yeah, I'm really, really excited for this.
Good shopping, babe.
And yes, the Metalmen are here. The Metalmen and the Atom.
Nice. Oh man, that looks really excited for this.
So, and $5.
Look how great! Yeah, look at that. That's some nice.
I can't believe this is only $5.
Let me see. It covers issue. Did you say what issues it covers?
No, I didn't say what issue.
Brave and the Bold's number 50 through 56 and 59. Yeah, that's 8 quality issues of this. So
I'm really excited about it.
So, well, there you go. That's some of our shopping adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about our book for this week.
You like cheap comic books, right? Well, I'm Professor Allen, and I talk about cheap comic books on the Quarter Bin Podcast. In every episode, I'll dissect a single comic from my collection, as long as I paid no more than 25 cents for the issue. Forget about $4 new comics that you can read in 4 minutes, or crossover events that can cost $100 to collect. Join me in the Quarter Bin, where even bad comics are a bargain, and good ones are a steal. The Quarter Bin Podcast is part of the Relatively Geeky Podcast Network. Visit us at relativelygeekypodcast.blogspot.com or search Relatively Geeky or Quarter Bin Podcast in iTunes. I guarantee it'll be worth every penny.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is Tales to Astonish, Volume 2, Number 5, from April 1980. So this is the second run of Tales to Astonish, which was just basically just a reprint Submariner books.
Yes.
So, which the Submariner series that ran in the 70s. Actually, we've done before on this show. Are you having fun?
Yes.
Jen, I think I assume you're looking at Snapchat.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I actually, before we started, I did want to say one thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Nobody but me will care about this. But RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 4 is back.
How is it?
Well, it's the first episode of Season 4, and I'm so happy because it's been so long since I've seen some of these drag queens, and I'm so very happy because, so the concept of All-Stars, for anybody who doesn't know, is people from previous RuPaul's Drag Race seasons coming back for another season. So I just want to say before the season gets underway that I have my top 3 picked out.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to call Latrice Royale the winner of All-Stars. Manila Luzon is the runner-up. And then in third is going to be either Monet Exchange or Monique Hart. I will take either one of those two.
I like Monet Exchange. That's a good name.
Isn't that a great name?
It's a great name.
Yeah, it's a great name.
I like drag names.
Yeah, well, there's a drag queen named Darien Lake, and I know you were very excited about that.
There's another one that I heard it, and granted, I'll hear them occasionally, and I'll be like, oh man, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something about drag names that some people are very good at naming themselves.
Yes. There's one currently, her name is Pheromone.
I think Pheromone is really good.
Is a good one.
Yeah.
Though I don't expect her to go she's on All Stars 4. I don't expect her to go very far.
Yeah.
She's very pretty, but that's about it. Sorry, pheromone.
So, but yeah, no, but
So I'm very excited about that. Just wanted to put that out there. Just wanted to put my top 3 out there before the season gets underway.
good job.
So it's right here on tape.
So I have a cat on me.
You do? Hi, Harley.
I have young Harley on me. Also, I did show Jen Rudy Tomjanovich.
Yeah, that dude got his face broken. He ran into a punch.
He was running. I don't know why he was running over there.
I mean, he probably thought he was trying to help his teammate, and he didn't realize the other guy was going to punch him right in the face.
Yeah, that guy fucked him up.
That guy. I mean, he ran right into some dude's fist.
Yeah. No, he definitely. That definitely happened. So yeah, and that would have been if that guy would have fell. That would have been worse.
It would have. That guy would have just died.
Yeah, he would have been dead. His suit would have filled up with blood.
What they would have like taken? Oh man, you mean if they took the head off, it would have been like that scene in The Shining with the elevators open?
Oh yeah. and then the announcer would be like, "Ear." Because the announcer for some reason does that, like when they score.
Yeah, he does.
Sometimes just go, "Ear." I'm like, okay.
I also like how that guy announces the other team when Aquaman would make all those shots. So like if the Nuggets win, it's like, and what's that? Peyton Mason or something? Whatever. Mason something.
Plumtree or Plumley.
Sure. Like Mason Plumley, like yeah, whatever. And then the other team scores. He's like Adams basket. Like that's like
yeah, no, he's kind of fun. He's got to show love.
I know he's doing his job. It's funny though.
Can you imagine if the guy falls and all the blood's in this costume and comes out and it's like quick put up what's Serbian for blood.
That's right, because you could learn Serbian.
Because Jokic occasionally they'll be like, here's some Serbian, and then they'll be like, have the other players try to guess it.
Yeah,
and because they put these little like vignettes up on the thing.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's freaking silly. It's silly.
Yes.
And then we got to see a concert.
Yeah, that was upsetting. Also, there were flames this time, and I don't think there were flames last time.
No, they were bringing out flames. They brought out flames at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, because they're like, here comes the Nuggets.
Here, and they're like, fire. And I'm like, ah!
And I was like, wow, I can feel that heat.
Well, it's like when you go to see, like, Kane, when Kane used to have pyro.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore, but when you go watch wrestling matches and you go see Kane, like, you fucking feel that shit.
Yeah.
Tales to Astonish, starring the Submariner. On the cover, we have...
Come on.
Which is basically the same cover of what this issue is reprinted.
Yeah.
Of Submariner number 5. It has Tiger Shark. And it says, watch out for Tiger Shark.
Watching out.
Watch out. See, there he is. Tiger Shark. His outfit is...
He's orange and gray.
He's orange and like a purple gray.
Kind of, yeah.
A little bit of a purple in there.
I don't know. His outfit's pretty cool.
I like it, but it's like the colors are always pretty unique. Mm-hmm. But that is the Tiger Shark. Basically one of Submariner's main villains. Mm-hmm. And also one of Submariner's main non-Atlantean villains.
Okay.
Like one of the guys that isn't like somebody that's of his of the race,
right?
That's trying to usurp him or whatever. But yeah, here he is. He's swimming towards Tiger Shark, and Tiger Shark's like, ah! And
yeah, he's like standing there with his legs out,
standing over Dorma.
Yeah, and she's like, oh no.
Yeah, so watch out for Tiger Shark.
So watch out for him.
And that's what the story is called. Start off with Submariner.
Coming out of the ocean.
Coming out of the ocean because he just got beat up, I think.
Yeah, can we just say that his fingers look broken in this panel?
Yeah. No, it looks like he's had some issues.
His ring finger and his pinky finger looks like somebody just like pulled them the wrong way.
Yeah.
And he's like walking out and he's got his hand up to his head where you can see his broken fingers and he's like, oh, Dorma, what's her name? Dorma?
Lady Dorma, yeah.
She's dead. I just got beat up. Life is awful. I just kind of washed up on this island.
Cutting a promo on this island. But apparently he's got
Somebody help me. Really.
Wait, what?
I'm asking people to help me. Save me from Sean's weird wrestling termination. Or
terminology.
Termination. I can't.
Wrestling termination.
I can't give you shit if I can't use the right words myself.
Okay. So, and he's like, so he's got his villain. I think it's Doctor Destiny or something Destiny. I don't know. It's some dude with a helmet.
Sure. Harley.
He's leaving.
Bye, Harley.
He's had enough of my wrestling termination. So he's coming out and he's like, this Doctor, Destiny has been fucking with me and things are crazy and, and then we get Stan Lee being like,
Smiling Stan.
Because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, this happened last issue, Smiling Stan. I'm like, oh, thanks, Stan.
Yeah, literally signed Smiling Stan. I'm like, okay, that's weird.
Excelsior. Anyways, so
R.I.P.
R.I.P. So and then this
Excelsior death.
Bravo.
That was really bad.
So
someone take this mic away from me.
So he so actually I kind of like this because he's just we get nothing in between here. We just get him like walking on his island. It's like, ah, shit.
And then there's like a robot on this island,
and immediately it's a robot,
and it's just like blasting shit, and it just like starts fighting Submariner for like literally no reason.
Well, it's a protection robot because
it's a robot.
He stumbled onto the island of
robots,
Doctor Dorcas. So
Robotia,
Robot America. So he shows up and
he rips the robot apart, but he gets beaten.
Yeah, the robot like he's like, I'm gonna fuck up this robot, and then the robot explodes.
But we get this picture of Submariner just laying on the beach in a very sexy way.
Ooh.
He does a lot of sexy laying around in this book. Because this is one of 2 times.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like laying on his side, but he's wearing these like skimpy briefs, and he's just like all muscly and looking hot.
Yeah.
And he's just like, it's just like, wow, look at Submariner.
Yeah, and these guys are like, some of these guys are on the beach. You don't see who they are, but they're like, our robot net has landed us Submariner. And it's like, yeah, he's laying her all sexy. Mm-hmm. So they're like,
we better take him on our cool ship.
Well, they were. Is
it a ship?
No, it's like a laboratory because it's on the island. So they're like,
that's what I was confused on, if they were under, like, if he was on an actual ship or if he was in like a place.
Well, so what I'm trying to figure out here is because they're like, oh, we got Submariner, and they're like, not quite the fish we might have expected to catch in it. And it's like, what? Wait, so the robot is supposed to catch fish, and he was like, I guess I'll just catch this human instead?
Well, I don't know, because it doesn't make sense either, because the robot's just like zapping stuff on the beach.
Yeah.
And if they're looking for sharks, which I assume they are based on the rest of this book, I don't know why you'd find one on a beach.
Submariner comes to, and
he's wearing this very stylish steel vest.
Yeah, he's got some sort of steel vest that's been put on him. And it's like, oh, shit, it's a vet laboratory and there's sharks. And then some girl shows up and she's like, yeah, everything's going to be cool.
And he's
but
like,
you're a prisoner.
Shut up, female.
And he's like, fuck you. Fuck this ham on this plate. Oh, he ruined a nice Thanksgiving dinner here.
Yeah.
Knocks that out of her hand. He's like, why am I wearing this vest? Now we see
the doctor.
Doctor Dorcas. Now, we've actually had Dr. Dorcas, Lemuel Dorcas, on our show before.
Oh, yeah?
He was in our supervillain team-up issue.
Oh, okay.
Where he would go on to die.
Oh, R.I.P. that
He
guy.
died in that issue, but he also came back as a starfish man.
Starfish man?
Uh-huh. I actually looked him up, and he came back as a gross-ass starfish man.
Gross.
It's pretty gross, actually. I'm like, it's like, ew, he's all secreting and stuff.
Ew, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to find that issue where he comes back. It comes back in like a Thunderbolts comic as like a secreting starfish man.
Ew.
So, but here he is because he injects himself instead of dying, he injects himself with starfish shit. So like he can regenerate. So he lived. But anyways, spoiler alert. Here he is in his first appearance, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Dr. Dorcas." So
I put that vest on you.
And Namor's like,
don't take it off. And then like Submariner like tries to come for him, and he like zaps him.
He's also
that's what the vest does.
Yeah, it's a restriction vest.
Yeah, it's like electrocuted and stuff. And
Dr. Dorcas is like, well, look, I'm sitting here and I got like a cigarette and like one of those like long ass filters.
Yeah, stylish.
And like, I want your power and shit because you're Submariner and you're like jacked and you know how to do water stuff. So I think I have some experiments for you. So I have
Stephen Miller's hairline from when he went on that terrible show.
Stephen Miller.
Yeah, he's like some Trump fuck, and he's younger than us, but he looks like 70, and he's very bald.
Did he have spray on hair?
He sure did.
Nice.
But it's so obvious that it's spray on because we've seen him before. So
was he sprayed a widow's peak on his head?
He looks like he has that hairline.
It's quite the hairline, actually. It's one of those. It's like
It's like the Sinestro hairline.
Oh yeah.
That's what it is.
He's got he's like he went to the thing and he was like, "Give me a Sinestro."
And I'm just like, dude, there's nothing wrong with being bald. Just be bald. It's cool. Nothing wrong.
So
don't give yourself a Sinestro hairline.
So he's like, okay, well, this vest is on your
comic book villain, guys.
he's like, look, you're wearing my vest, so you're fucked. And then Submariner, actually, I like he calls me, he goes, then beware, land crawling jackal. For the hour shall come when I wear it no longer.
He's like, okay, well,
land crawling jackal.
Doesn't he ask him, like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm not telling you what I'm doing. And he just leaves.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so then we see, like,
well, then
I don't know. He's got like some sort of reactor.
Well, no. Well, firstly, we see his. We get introduced to his buddy, Todd. Todd comes in, and Todd's like, he's like, hey, I heard some noises in here, and he's like, get the fuck out, Todd. I'm working on shit.
Yeah, fuck you.
He's like, you got this reactor, and like we're gonna like do some shit, and then you're gonna like get all changed and stuff. And he's like, sweet.
Yeah.
So then now we cut back to Atlantis, or whatever.
Yeah, and Lady, what's her name, is not dead.
Lady Dorma's alive,
but she thinks that Submariner's dead.
Yeah, she thinks he's dead.
So she's sad.
She's sad, and then, basically she's like, I don't want to hear it. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go like take one of these I'm
gonna go for a drive.
Atlantis ships. I'm gonna go fucking fart around and find them.
I'm gonna go for a drive. So we're back with Submariner and the lady, and he's like, you're my enemy. And she's like, no, you don't understand. So my brother, Todd.
So her name is Diane.
Yeah. So my name's Diane. My brother is Todd. My brother was like a swimmer.
Right. So this idea
he was like some sort of like gold medal winning.
So this guy's basically like Mark Spitz or like Steven. What's that fucking monster's name?
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps.
That fucking monster.
This giant ass monster that eats fucking.
He does have the weirdest of arms. Like his arm span is insane compared to the rest of his body, which is why he's such a good swimmer.
Yeah,
he's like literally just like genetically predisposed to be a good swimmer.
Yeah,
it's fucking weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey, some people just are.
So she's like, yeah. So like my brother Todd, the reason why I'm here is like.
My brother Michael Phelps.
My brother Michael Phelps is like
the best.
Yeah, he's like the best swimmer, and apparently he's so good at swimming. Like
he's basically an Olympian. He's like Michael Phelps. He's like an Olympic athlete, whatever.
Well, I'm trying to figure out here because
we'll talk about this. Is this what you're going to talk about? Well, like, how does this work?
What, like swimming for money?
No. How does him losing his ability to swim work? Because it doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think I could make sense of that.
No, I can't.
Todd Arliss is an Olympic swimmer, and he's the fucking best. And everybody, and he's like, I've done so great in swimming, I've become the most Michael Phelps I can be. And now the reporters are like, yo, when you turn a pro? And I'm like,
is there pro?
That's the thing. I'm like, when you don't you pretty much like it's not like bowling where like you go on like the bowling.
Maybe it's a water polo type thing.
They're just like, oh, you're gonna be a swimmer, and he's like, yeah, fucking A, man, I'm gonna make like over $500,000 in exhibitions. 1970s money.
Is there a swimming? I mean, because I know like figure skaters.
Right.
You can go pro and like tour on all those like little shows and
Christy Yamaguchi.
Yeah, like that. And like, like Johnny Weir and shit before he retired. But like that sort of shit. Do they do that for swimming?
Apparently that's what we're supposed to believe here. I don't know. I didn't realize that was a thing.
Do you think it's like watching cars race? You just watch them swim around like in a circle?
Well, it's an exhibition, so it's like, is it just him in a pool just like swimming around real fast and everybody just being like, fuck yeah, here's $500,000?
Or is it just like watching races?
Maybe.
I always thought.
Is he racing against like other people?
I always thought like swimming was one of those like the Olympics was it.
That's the thing. What else is there?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, other than just like high school and college and Olympics competition.
Right. What else is there? That's a really good question. Because aren't you, when you are an Olympic athlete, aren't you technically pro? Like that's your fucking job. Yeah,
but I mean, the thing is like.
You're not. I don't know.
I mean, it's one of those things too where when you think about it, like in your Olympics, if you're an amateur wrestler, like that's the legit sport. But then you become a pro wrestler.
Yeah,
pro wrestling is not.
I feel like that's the only one where it's backward.
Maybe pro swimming is like pro wrestling.
Maybe. So you mean
Finn McMahon?
So you mean they're just throwing each other through diving boards?
Oh man, by God, that man has a family. That diving board has a family. It's Cold Stone.
Cold Stone.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of
ice cream now.
I'm trying to think of wrestling swimmer wrestlers.
Man, did they ever try to sponsor him? Because what a tie-in.
Well, Finn Balor. There you go.
Oh well, yes, his name is Finn.
Also,
but did Cold Stone ever try to sponsor Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Cold Stone wasn't a thing when Stone Cold was a thing.
It wasn't.
Mike Tyson famously called Stone Cold Steve Austin Cold Stone Steve Austin because he messed up his name at the when he was talking about it.
I would just really like to see like Steve Austin like pitching like ice cream with mix-ins and like singing.
It's like, goddamn these mix-ins. He wouldn't sing. He would just stutter those fucking people. No, but like
when you give them a tip, they're supposed to sing about it.
I would to give him a tip, and Steve Austin comes in and gives him a stunner.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe that's why it didn't work, because if they sponsored Steve Austin, then it would have instead, when you give them a tip, they give you a stunner. And so many people died.
Oh wait, so the people, if you give them a tip, they come off, they
yes.
jump over the counter
yes.
and fucking stunner.
Yes.
Actually, I'd probably try. Probably be a lot of really bad stunners.
Yes.
Be like,
it's a really bad.
Because what would happen is they would get tired of giving people stunners. They would just be like, okay, fine.
If it's good enough for the president, it's good enough for you.
I would think you take a stunner like Trump did, or like fucking like Linda McMahon,
where he just like gingerly kneels down.
Yeah, just like, okay, let's get this over with. It's like people's coming in here throwing money. Actually, now that'd be a great sketch on Edge and Christian. Stone Cold Creamery. And so you give those guys a tip, and they come in, and the people have to give you stunners, but they get really tired of doing it because that's all people fucking come in every day. It's just fucking nerds like me, be like, nobody ever get any ice cream done.
No,
at Stone Cold Creamery.
No,
that's another thing I need to tell them. I got this great idea, Steve. Hangs up.
He never speaks to you again.
Never speaks to me. Just like, I've had it with this.
This is like, no.
I've had it with this guy's cackamamie ideas.
Yep, nope.
He's not the brilliant man I thought he was.
No.
Anyways, so Todd Arliss.
Okay, so this is where I don't understand what's happening. So he's on a boat.
Yeah.
Somebody gets knocked overboard. Todd Arliss dives in to help this man.
Yes.
But the waves are really rough.
Yeah.
And he gets tossed into the boat.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, not me.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God, you're never going to swim again. But he's not paralyzed. He can still walk. So why can't he swim?
I think what we're supposed to believe is that his back injury is so severe, because obviously we're not seeing as much of him suffering. But he's had his back injury is pretty bad.
Sure.
Because let me put it this way, like there's a lot of wrestlers that have had crippling back injuries that have come back to wrestle.
Right.
But
they can't wrestle the way they used to.
They don't wrestle the way they used to or whatever.
But they can still wrestle. He should still be able to swim.
But he's not obviously the best swimmer.
Even if he can't swim at the same level. That I understand.
Yeah.
But they're not saying that. He's literally saying, I can never swim again. And I'm like, why?
Well, I don't know.
Like, you can't even fucking doggy paddle? You're up walking around. You're not paralyzed. What's going on here?
Oh, maybe people pay to see a doggy paddle.
I mean, sure. Maybe if he would race actual dogs.
The junkyard doggy paddle. He races dogs in water races?
Yeah. So his whole thing is he's hooked up with the scientist, Dr. Dorkman, or whatever his name is.
I like Dorkman better.
Yeah, Dr. Dorkman, to restore his ability.
So Dr. Dorkman is like, yo, you're going to have to pay me a lot of money, but I'll help you swim again and stuff. And he's like, look, I'm going to do this. I don't care. I'll give you my soul or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And so for some reason, he decides to bring his sister with him.
I don't.
They go into the woods, I'm assuming where Steve Wayne lived.
Yeah.
Where Bruce Wayne was hanging out with that woman in Gotham, in that shack. And he brought her along, and then Dr. Dorkman's like, shut up, lady. Your brother, you're not going to interfere, or your brother will never swim again. And now you have to live here for some reason.
No, but she kind of knows that this whole thing's not on the level, but Dr. Dorkman is just like, if you fucking tell him your brother will never swim again, nor like walk again, nor like breathe again, basically, because I'm gonna kill him. So she has to keep her mouth shut, but also like hang out because she can't like go alert authorities or something. She tells all this to Namor, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I know that you're not my enemy, but what's his face is Dr. Dorkman is. I'm gonna rip off this vest." Which zaps him.
Well, it zaps him because nearby Dorcas is listening, and he's like,
right.
You know.
But then we have another sexy Namor on the floor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is it the other sexy Namor pose?
Yeah, it's just like, look at him, look at his thighs.
Oh, yeah, look at those calves.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that calf. That's a handsome calf.
So these two goons grab him, and they're like, all right. So Dorcas and Todd grab him, and they're like, okay, so instead of me giving you, like, shark powers, give me Namor powers.
Yeah, so I guess Dr. Dorcas has been doing some sort of gimmick on Todd to like help him with his back, and he's feeling stronger and stuff like that. But he's like, you're going to basically give me like.
But no, I think this is what he's been doing. He's been like, we're trying to get a shark because we're going to give you like shark powers.
Sharks.
Well, yeah, we're going to give you the powers of these fish so you can swim. But instead of doing the shark, we're going to do Namor.
Right. Yeah, he's expecting.
The plan is to do the shark, but now it's going to be Namor.
Yeah, because Namor
so
is
they're
strong.
going to bring him into like the body switchy.
Yeah, and so they give him they throw him. They throw Namor into this one thing, and then and
so Todd comes out in kind of half of the tiger shark's outfit.
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, I have to wear this for like the experiments."
Sure, I must wear this brown and. Orange, brown, and gray.
It's not even
purple.
orange. You can see his skin. It's just like weirdly striped and stuff.
No, that's orange.
It's not orange. No, it's flesh. That is flesh color.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's flesh color. The Dr. Dorcas is like, okay, well, sit in this thing. I'm gonna pump you full of shark. And he's like, wait, we have Namor. He's like, nope, shark.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. So he turns the machine on, and this guy just starts screaming about how much it hurts.
Yeah, because he's
like, too bad.
Okay, because he's all like, "Yo, I'm psyched. Let's do this." And he turns it on. And he's like, "Turn it off."
Yeah, he's like, "Nope,
this sucks ass." And Dr. Dorcas is like, "Fuck off, man.
Yeah,
you're gonna become like an amphibian boy, whatever." And and he's like, "I don't want to be an amphibian." And he's like, "Shut up. You're gonna be whatever I want you to be."
Yeah, he's like, "You want to swim, don't you?"
Yeah, and you're gonna become like the fucking king. And so
I do love this panel where it's just his face.
Yeah, this is actually kind of a wild panel where it's like you get like a lot of this because Sal Buscema is doing the art, so you get a lot of like this energy crackle, but you see his
just his
Todd's face like in the middle, and it's wild.
It's actually a great panel.
I like it a lot.
Yeah,
and he's like, so next thing you know, Dr. Dorcas is like, "Oh, is he dead?" And he's like,
right,
"No, I'm
they
alive."
turn off the machine, and he's just like. He's like, "Oh my god, are you dead?" He's like, "No."
No, I'm doing dope. And then they go check on Submariner, and he's like, he's in suspended animation, so that's how it's gonna be. And then the next panel, we see Tiger Shark as Tiger Shark. In the first, he puts on his little helmet,
and his gloves,
and he's like,
"It's me. I am Tiger Shark." And his sister's like, "Where'd you get that mask?" He's like, "The doctor gave it to me." And then he starts like yelling, and he's got like sharpened teeth, and he has like weird gills on his cheeks.
Yep.
Which is a weird place for them.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. You figured the gills would be on the back of his head, like behind his ear, like around his neck.
Like on his neck. They make sense on the neck. On the cheek?
I think he's breathing through his cheek.
That's kind of weird.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's a weird place for him.
Yeah, and so he just looks, he just looks very, very menacing. He's got, he looks jacked, and I mean, this is what Michael Phelps is destined for.
Oh, so, shit. Turn into Tiger Shark?
Oh, yeah.
Neat.
I kind of hope he does.
That'd be great.
Maybe he could be on the side of good.
Sure.
He could, like, help us.
He could swim real fast.
He could swim around the ocean and shit.
It's exactly what we need.
Oh, man. I'd love to be Tiger Shark. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it does sound like fun.
Swimming in the ocean and just having sharp teeth and shit.
Yeah.
Tiger Shark's like, what is this bullshit? Now I'm like a monster, and he's like, fuck off. Now you're gonna be, and Dr. Dorcas is like, well, whatever. You're gonna be like my slave, and now you're gonna be like, you're gonna do what I tell you. Now you have some limitations because now, in addition to being, shark-like man, he can't be out of water. He needs to have water.
Right.
So yeah. So basically, as that's happening,
is this where he jumps out the side of the building?
No, that's next page.
Yeah,
but so basically, he starts. Tiger Shark starts ripping apart everything, and
He's fighting.
He's throwing stuff around, and then Submariner makes his comeback, and he's like,
out of suspended animation? Don't ask.
Yeah, he just wakes up. He's like, I'm alive, and then he comes back and he starts like throwing, trying to beat up on Tiger Shark. Tiger Shark just kicks his ass, just kicks him in the face, and he is just housing Submariner, which good for him.
Yeah,
fuck, Submariner is kind of a sausage.
I can see that.
So I kind of like when he gets his ass kicked. Obviously he's a hero, but I like when he gets beat up. So yeah, he's beating him up, and then he's like, I need water.
That's Tiger Shark is like, I need water. So he literally just like breaks through the fucking wall.
He just jumps through the water. His sister's like,
bricks going everywhere.
His sister's like, you become a creature of the sea, under the sea.
And he this is the funny part. So he falls into the water, and he's just basically starts sinking.
Yeah.
And he just lands on Lady whatever her name is,
Dorma,
her car, and it's like if somebody threw a rock over an overpass. He just hits this bitch's car.
Does he have insurance?
Yeah. And she's lucky she doesn't die, and then Namor comes to. And
well, no, this is the funny thing. So he hits the car. He just happens to jump out of this building and land on her
timing
on her water car.
Yeah, perfect timing.
And she's like, "Oh my god, what was that?" And she's like, "It must have been something that hit me." And he's like, "It wasn't something. It was a tiger shark." And he starts thrashing apart her car.
Yeah.
Right. And so Submariner comes alive, and he's like,
"Fuck.
All right, I gotta go and
I gotta go chase Tiger Shark.
I gotta go take care of them." And and she's like, "Oh, you gotta stop my brother." And he's like, "Look, I don't care. Your brother must be halted.
I'm not here to do this for you, lady.
I'm just doing it because I gotta do it." And then
someone's got to do this shit.
And so mere seconds later, he goes down there and he sees Tiger Shark, dealing with Dorma, and she's like,
"Oh shit, Namor, you're alive."
Yeah. And then Tiger Shark's like, "Well, if this is one of your gals, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fuck with her.
Fuck you, Submariner."
And then Submariner's like, "Imperious Rex." That's his joint.
Okay.
He yells Imperious Rex.
But first, we have this great Twinkies ad.
Oh, Twinkies ad, yeah.
Did you see this one with the Human Torch?
Human Torch flying over. He's like, villain threatens to burn city, and so apparently the entire city is on fire. Really on fire.
Yeah, it's like a dude with a flamethrower.
It's like the beginning of Lethal Weapon 2 or something.
Yeah.
Or whatever that one is with.
And he's like, "I'll put out this fire by giving the flamethrower guy some Twinkies."
Yeah.
But the whole city has burned to the ground. It's like Chicago after the cow.
The city is on fire.
Yeah, it's gone. It's Chicago after Mrs. Daly's cow knocked over the lantern.
And the Torch shows up and he's like, "Look, here's some Twinkies that haven't melted in my pocket."
Yeah,
because the plastic should just be stuck to the Twinkies.
Oh, it shouldn't even be a thing.
It should just be like a mass of charred.
Yeah, it's done.
Charred sugar.
Yeah,
and he throws it over to him, and this guy's like, "This is delicious." And then somehow he gets the cops to stop these guys. Or he just ties him up with a rope and hangs him there while this guy's eating a Twinkie.
Yeah.
And then the police and the firemen are like, "Okay, thanks."
Yeah, cool, thanks.
So now we're back to Tiger Shark and Submariner having a fight. It's actually a pretty good fight.
Yeah, it's great.
Because Tiger Shark is just like, I'm a monster. I'm just gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
And this is my and you think you're a king. I'm just gonna fuck you up. And he starts, and they start battling each other, and they're just barreling into each other, and but Submariner's kind of weak, so he's getting a little bit housed.
Yeah.
And actually getting a lot of housed.
He gets totally housed.
So Submariner throws a rock at him, or Tiger Shark throws a rock at him, and then he takes Dorma's car and he throws that on him.
Dorma's like, "No."
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck you, Submariner. Now I'm the king." And she's like, "Oh God, I know." And Dorma's like, "I know he's alive." And he's like, "Whatever, lady. You're coming with me." And then, and that's how it ends.
That's it.
That's how this shit ends. And it's like, yeah. It ends on a cliffhanger. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I dig this, actually.
Yeah, no, it's great.
This is actually one of the few things...
I got this at
Mile High.
Mile High, out of the $1 box.
And what I like about this is well, first of all, I don't read a ton of stuff for Submariner that I've read it and been like, "Oh, this is really good."
Yeah.
He's kind of one of those guys that's like hit or miss.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But this is really cool.
Yeah, I like it.
And Tiger Shark is quite the foe.
Yeah, no, it's great. I like it.
So I'm definitely going to read the next issue of this.
Yeah, me too. I like this a lot.
And I like that it's a reprint, so that means you can kind of find the rest of these and get them pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because, I mean, they're granted from the 80s, so you got to still kind of search for them, but
right.
It's a pretty good deal, I think, for a Marvel book, you know, for a Marvel reprint. You know, you get some good gimmicks with that. So shout out to Tales to Astonish, Submariner. I like it. So, and no letters page. You don't get to, there's no letters to astonish or anything like that.
Letters to astonish.
Ooh, Z. Ooh. L.
Oh, the letter Q.
Ah, the letter to.
Yes, the letter to.
So that's it for this week's show. Thanks for listening. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Angry Hero Sean.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, Worst Collection Ever. And email the show, worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
And, of course, please rate, review, and subscribe on wherever you get this podcast. You can go to Apple Podcast, Stitcher, to Spotify. What's the other one? SoundCloud. You can go there.
Sure.
Yeah, you can go just about any. We're up there. We're up a bunch of places. So, but definitely, you know, if you can, rate and review, tell a friend, spread the word about the podcast. We would really appreciate that. So, thanks again for listening, folks, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.